I was a terrible student in college, really not very good. I floated between like 8 majors before I finally landed on English. I didn't know it yet, but it turns out that I had a penchant for drama. So I signed up for a bunch of Shakespeare courses. And it was Shakespeare that pretty much saved my scholastic career. So much so that a decade later I named my British short hair after him, and I don't think he's forgiven me since. So when I discovered a deck that married my love of Shakespeare with my interest in collecting playing cards, needless to say, I was sold. Here's my review for the Shakespeare Romeo and Juliet Montague vs. Capulets deck.
Printed by the USPCC in Kentucky, the deck was produced by Brian Sloan for Lux Playing Cards, not to be confused with the brand printed by the Legends Playing Card Company, which is spelled LUXX. Originally produced as a Kickstarter project, the deck came in 2 different versions of the tuck, a bicycle-branded Romeo and Juliet version, and the version that I own, the Montague vs. Capulet version. The tuck box is printed on a glossy cardstock that is primarily a crimson red color. The front features a mural-like painting of the star-crossed lovers. One side of the deck takes from the prologue of the play.
2 households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we stage our scene. What?
Look, this is not what you would call a premium deck, and you get that right away from the tuck. There's no embossing, matte paper, or foil stamping on the tuck case. There is, however, a custom Shakespeare seal, which is cool. Inside the box you get a double backer good for magic. There's a diptych set of Joker cards that depict the famous scene from the play where Romeo discovers the quote-unquote lifeless body of Juliet in the Capulet tombs. It's a nice image, but it's let down by the large poker-style borders that really don't make sense here. There's an additional ad card that gives a rundown of the roster of the included court cards. The diamonds include Mercutio as the Jack, Queen and King are Lady and Lord Montague respectively. Tybalt is the Jack of Clubs, Lord and Lady Capulet are the King and Queen. The spades include the Apothecary, the Capulet nurse, and the Friar who famously gives Juliet her sleeping potion. The Apothecary is also depicted as a one-eyed Jack, which is a cool allusion to the standard Jack of Spades. Finally, and fittingly, the hearts, which include Romeo and Juliet, also have Shakespeare breaking the 4th wall to make an appearance amongst his own cast of characters. And in a clever twist, where the pen is mightier than the axe in this case, he holds a quill rather than the traditional weapon. The aces feature the Capulet and Montague crests, another image of Shakespeare, and the 2 namesake lovers once again.
The aces and the courts, painted by Belgian artist, and I'm gonna butcher her name, Virginie Carquin, have a beautiful oil paint look to them.
The backs feature a very thin poker-style border. The design is a bit busy, with the line work being hard to make out. It's not helped by what I think is the most egregious problem with the design of the deck, the faded parchment effect in the background of all the cards. What the designer was trying to accomplish was the sense that this was an old and distressed set of cards, of course, but it's not executed very successfully. The truth is, the worn look is hard to pull off on its own. In my opinion, to do it right, you have to vary the distressed paper effect on the background from card to card, otherwise the spell of the effect is too easily broken by the repeating nature of what obviously is just a patterned background. For a deck that does it right, you might want to check out my review of the Dead Man's deck. I think the coloration of the cards also feels a bit off. I'm wondering if they should probably be more yellowed, like the sun had baked the color into the cards. Additionally, the font choice and the borders don't give me the old world vibe either. All these factors combined to make the readability of the cards at a glance much harder than it probably should be. Handling wise, the cards feel great, as most USPC decks tend to. They fan and farrow nicely, but again, the design isn't really cardist friendly. In the end, this is a deck for collectors and fans of William Shakespeare. The artwork on the courts is especially very nice, but some other problems with the design ultimately detract from the overall package.
You can find this deck at a few of the playing card retailers, and of course Amazon and eBay will have them as well. If you enjoyed this review, please help others find it by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. I'm the Gentleman Wake, and I hope to see you next time.